Tax Solutions podcast. I'm your co-host, Pearson York, filling in for Brett Swarts. Each episode, I'm joined by some of the best wealth, business, real estate, and leadership individuals in the world to share ideas, deal stories, and inspiration. So together, we can make complex tax deferral strategies simple, passive income plans achievable. As always, we're streaming on the Expert CRE Secrets podcast, the Capital Gains Tax Solutions YouTube channel, also living in the Newport Beach, California YouTube channel. So go check us out, hit the like button, subscribe button, notification bell. Super pumped about this guest. Flips lives, literally flipped lifestyle owner, founder, Shane Sams. And he's known as the membership master, been in the game for a long time doing digital marketing. He's an absolute genius. We're going to take some serious nuggets of wisdom out of him today. Thanks for coming on, brother. How are you?
Bro, I am happy to be here. I've been looking forward to this all day. Let's create some passive income and help some people out, man. That's what we're here for.
Let's create some passive income. 30-second synopsis, where you come from, and why should people listen to you?
Yeah, man. My name's Shane Sams. I used to be a school teacher in Southeast Kentucky. Actually got really sick of working for other people, people telling me what to do, went out, became an online entrepreneur, started monetizing my knowledge, my wisdom, my experience. Created membership sites, went out and started doing that. And then around 2014, man, I helped other people monetize their knowledge, wisdom, and experience through those membership sites. Our goal is to help people get like 1,000 people to pay you $100 a month every single month on the internet when you start an online business. And I've been doing that now for about 10 years. And now I'm here talking to you, bro.
Right on. Okay, so what is the number one secret to flipping your lifestyle with an online passive income business?
Yeah, man. The biggest thing is you've got to control your income. It's not enough to just have like a local business in one spot. It's not enough to have an employer that even pays you a really big paycheck. We want to go out and take things online so that we can reach out to the world. There's 8 billion people on the planet. You really only need, 100 of them to pay you $100 a month to make $120,000 a year, 1,000 of them to pay you $100 a month to make over $1 million a year. So that's really what we want to do is we want to get out there. We want a bunch of different income streams. We want customers all over the world, all over the country that are paying us to access our knowledge. For example, when I first started my first online business, I was a football coach and I was helping football coaches win more games. I was selling them playbooks and I was helping them with their game planning through these $50 a month memberships. So I could go out and get, 200 people to pay me $50 a month. All of a sudden I'm making $10,000 a month, 120 grand a year, just monetizing my knowledge. And my wife and I, we do that over and over again with different businesses that we have. But with Flip Lifestyle, what we do is people how to monetize their knowledge, monetize their wisdom, monetize their life, flip your life and their experience so they can go out and make money too. Then you can use that money to invest. You can use that money to do other things with your life. Yeah. So taking control of your income with your God-given gifts. That's what we help people do.
That's super interesting. So you started off with like your Madden playbook over there and selling it to coaches and straight up. You had to market it like, hey man, this is the 2017 Madden Championship playbook right here.
Well, new plays we got it. No, that's actually not how. Well, here's what I did. I actually coached a little college football back in the day. I coached at West Virginia University. I coached at Eastern Kentucky, and then I got into the high school ranks. And I quickly realized that those fancy college football playbooks don't work in high school because, like Nick Saban. These big time coaches, they've got guys that are like 6'4" running 4.6 40s. Well, I'm over here with 4.6 guys running 6'4 40s. I can't win with their playbooks. You know what I mean? So what I did was I started putting together a playbook that I could win at a small kind of high school, just a normal team. Wasn't trying to win a state title. I was just trying to go home happy more Friday nights than not, bro. I was trying to get to 6-5, 8-2, right? And I had this epiphany when we were starting our online business. Half of all football coaches lose every week. Half. Like literally, think about it. Like half of them go home unhappy and their weekend is ruined. And that was my whole sales pitch was go home happy more Friday nights than not.
That's genius.
Yeah, man. So I started selling playbooks and it took off.
So I want to dive into something here. And why are we talking about this, right? And what I want to dive into is you've done something that's really unique in that I'm seeing pop up more and more and more, and I'm sure you're familiar with Russell Brunson, right?
Yep.
Using the
I've
funnel and all that kind of stuff.
been out to ClickFunnels and met Russell in person, actually. Yep.
Yeah. Okay. Genius, right? But what you said earlier, monetizing your knowledge, and what you
Mhm.
did is you basically created a a, a a way to sell your knowledge passively.
Yes. Yeah. And what we do, the way we do it is very different than the way some people do it. You'll hear people do coaching and you'll hear people do courses, and those are all good things. Like we need to be able to create passive income by putting our knowledge in a medium that can be consumed on demand. Right. But what
Right.
we really do, what we discovered was the real magic was taking what you love, what you've learned, and what you've lived through, putting it in a medium that can be consumed, where they can watch a course, do some training, whatever, but then building communities around that. That's why we call it the membership model. Just like Netflix has, 20 million people watching Stranger Things in a community at the same time,
Right.
you can build that online. And what happens is this dynamo takes over, where the community kind of like talks to each other, hangs out with each other. You're kind of back, just kind of moderating and managing everything, maybe showing up once a month to do some kind of Q&A. And you can take all that experience, all that knowledge, but then take other people who love that, put it around this course or this training program that you've created to get someone a problem or a solution and a result. And then you've got this, all of a sudden you look up and you got 100, 200, 300, 400 people paying you. We've got members in our community. Some of our students have up to 10,000 people paying them every single month online. And they're stepping back and running these businesses in 4 to 10 hours a week, just making sure all the gears keep moving. Right. And that's the power of online business is you can kind of say stuff once and do stuff once, build a community around it, let that energy take over. And then all of a sudden you don't have to be the person working 100 hours a week doing everything. And it just kind of works in the background for you.
So one of the things that I've run into personally, right, and maybe this is a fault of my own or whatever, right, but I'm sure a lot of people have it, right? Otherwise, you wouldn't have all these sales pitches, right, that are, how to create an online business without, having to be a software developer, right?
Yep.
The how to without, model and all that kind of stuff, right? And the funnel hack, like it seems so easy in the webinar, right? It seems so easy on the sales pitch to go in there and oh, okay, I'm just gonna put my knowledge down on this like course and then I'm gonna build out this little membership site and it takes 12 clicks and you're done and I only have to shoot one video and
just build
like,
the funnel.
Good.
You're one funnel away. You're only one funnel away.
And it's true, right? It really is true. You are really only one funnel away. The problem is that like if you suck at building funnels, it's going to take you a long time to get to that one funnel, right? And I've just been through this myself where I try to go through and I get lost in the weeds and I get lost in, okay, I got to build a follow-up system, right? Like building a business is not easy. And it's the systematizing of things that is really tough. And if you're a visionary and not an implementer, it makes it really, really difficult. So what does Flipped Lifestyle do differently that these other guys might not necessarily do that has gotten you the results or how are you overcoming that challenge?
Dude, I'm a guy from Kentucky. I used to teach freaking history and coach football, man. And like I couldn't have handled complicated if I'd stumbled and tripped over it. So like what we really keep it simple is I started like looking at what everybody was doing when we were trying to figure out how to start our own online business. And I really saw like 3 components to it, basically. You got to be a content creator of some kind. You got to be consistent and prolific with your content and sharing. So we focus on podcasting, YouTubing, and blogging. That's it. Pick one. I don't care which one, but I'm a podcaster, but you can pick any one you want if you don't want to be on camera, don't want to talk. The second thing is grow an email list. That's it. Like just grow the email list. Don't worry about complicated funnels. Give people free stuff to get on your email list. And then email people one product. And that's a membership product. It can be $50 a month, $100 a month. We have people that charge $1,000 a month. You get paid in direct proportion of the problem you solve, right? The membership is really easy too, or simple. It's some kind of training course, so you're not constantly talking to people. It's a community where all your customers can talk to each other, and then it's something that you lead once a month. That's the whole business model. That's exactly what we teach. And when you make it simple like that, you don't need fancy tools. You don't need crazy stuff. You just got to basically be able to have a website. You got to be able to email people. You got to be able to checkout page. And that model can be used in niches you wouldn't think of. Like we all see the bro marketers out there trying to sell their latest bro marketing funnel. We all see the latest salesperson sell their 100% guaranteed sales training, right? But what those plans don't do is it doesn't build you an audience, it doesn't build you a list, and it doesn't get you customers. We've got a guy named Ken in our community, and he came into our community when he first joined, and it was the same kind of question, like, how am I going to build this thing? What am I going to do? And we said, what do you love to do? What's your God-given gift? What's your passion or whatever? And he goes, I love chickens. And I said, you do? And he goes, yeah, man, I love chickens, dude. I raise chickens in my backyard here in San Diego, California. I do it without driving anybody crazy. I love chickens, and I just want to sit around and talk about chickens all day. And I want to grow my business like that. And I said, okay, let's start a podcast where you talk to people about chickens. Let's give some kind of lead magnet, like how to set up a chicken coop in your backyard. Let's build an email list from the podcast. And then let's go out and start a membership where you can serve people, talk to people. You can get all the backyard chicken people out in the world to come to your website. And he said, do you really think that'll work? Do you think I can make money talking about raising chickens? And I said, son, I'm from Kentucky, and Colonel Sanders made a whole lot of money eating chickens. So somebody's got to raise the chickens, bro. And so he launches this business, man, and that really is what it is. It's a podcast, it's an email list, and it's a membership. And he makes over $100,000 a year off of that podcast. Not a huge social media following. You know, you only need a few hundred people to pay you every month to start getting into six figures. And he has a great living on it. I spoke in San Diego a few months ago, and it was awesome because I got to have Kenny come out and like bring him, kind of point to him on stage and stuff. And but he does, man. He makes his whole living that way. And I think that's what people like about our model. We're not trying to become influencers. We're not trying to get 20 million people to follow us. You really need a couple thousand people to follow you and listen to you, and then you need a couple hundred of them, and all of a sudden you've got a great living that you doing what you love. So that's the difference in what we teach and what everybody else does.
So do you ever sell these businesses?
Yes, for sure. We actually, one of our first businesses was called elementarylibrarian.com. And my wife was an elementary librarian. So she created a lesson plan library for librarians. So they wouldn't have to ever plan lessons again. They could just show up, teach, and go home at 3:30, right? Yeah. And so they paid like $50 a month to get access to all the resources. About 3 or 4 years after we quit our teaching job, Jocelyn had a librarian for a while. I had ball in a while. And we decided to sell those. And at the same time, Flipped Lifestyle was taking off. We had started really helping a lot of people in what we did. We had another website too. I still have it. It's called ushistoryteachers.com, where we sell lesson plans to social studies teachers. But we actually sold elementarylibrarian.com for $1.1 million on a contract. And then our students, we've had multiple students come in. We had a guy named Jeff Twitty. He sold a geometry lesson plan website. That was interesting. For a couple $1 million. We had a guy come in and he did an internet kind of security type business with this thing. It exploded and became this huge company. He sold it to Microsoft for $20 million. And then this lady named Jennifer Bradley, she sold one for $750,000. She was a speech language pathologist, had a big membership with like 1,500 pathologists in it. So what's cool about the businesses that we create is we focus totally on recurring revenue at the beginning. Right. And then we automate and streamline, which makes a business a higher multiple, because that's what it is. So yeah, man, we have people now come in and they're just like, I want to build this thing until I can, get 1,000 people in it. And then I want to try to sell this. I got a broker that sells them for them. And yeah, man, it's really good stuff.
How do you handle the tax?
On the sale or just in general?
On the sale.
That was a long time ago. I had an accountant help me work on it and my tax guy,
Yeah.
But it was definitely a big one-time event, those big events. But I don't exactly remember what we did to kind of shield some of that. I know we purchased a lot of stuff. So here's the problem. Let me tell you a problem about these kind of businesses.
Okay.
There's almost no overhead.
Right.
The tax game is always an interesting game of which 6,000-pound vehicle can I buy? Which thing can I do here? Which way can I do this? Because you'll be making, you might be making, let's say you're making $50,000 a month, right? Let's say you got, 500 people paying you $100 a month or whatever. You may only have $10,000, $5,000 in expenses on that business if you don't have any employees, because what happens is all you need is like the software to run the business, the hosting company to have your courses, maybe advertising budget. and then you don't have a lot of room for that. So the big thing that we did after we sold our business is when we built Flip Lifestyle, we kind of built it in a more scalable way by hiring employees, putting money back into the business, getting investment strategies like that. We did some other things too, like we set up like family management companies, brought the kids on board so we could funnel some money down to them. Like buying vehicles, buying equipment, doing things we could really pour back into the business and make it grow even bigger was how we started handling the taxes after that.
Yeah, definitely. And that's kind of like what I'm leading us down a little path here because, what you just said was huge. There's no overhead, right? There's no cost basis to these things. I mean, the couple $1,000 maybe if you're buying HubSpot, right? Like
that's exactly. Like,
and I'm sure you're not even preaching Hub.
Nah, dude, we use a software called Kajabi. It's freaking $200 a month, and you can make as much money as you want on it. Like our company, we did $8 million in sales last year on this $250 software program.
So you've got a very minimal cost basis, right? And what you didn't mention, and it's up there on the screen right now, is what's the biggest frustration with the 1031 exchange? And the thing is you didn't even mention it because you can't even do a 1031 exchange with a business.
That's exactly right. Yeah, man.
And that's the issue here is you have this super high multiple business that's working off a revenue with zero cost basis that, if you're trying to have that liquidity event, that one-time big liquidity event, it's extremely difficult to get out of it. You're buying, if it's an $8 million sales funnel, dude, you're buying an airplane. Right,
yeah,
which is cool one time, but how many airplanes do you need?
We were shopping for airplanes earlier this year. I swear to God, I can't believe you said that, dude. Because a buddy of mine was like, "Dude, you got to go try to buy an airplane." And we were legit. I was like, before I called the guy, I bought a puzzle of an airplane. And I'm like, this is insanity. I'm going to put this puzzle together to make me slow down and think about this. And we were legit like, yeah, this is feasible. I think we could do this. It was crazy, man. And what kills me about it is for online business owners too, there was such a learning curve, dude. I got so blasted my first year in taxes because I was a W-2 guy my whole life. And I had to learn this stuff swimming uphill on how not to get it just annihilated on taxes, let alone win the tax game. And then when you sell a business, the broker doesn't care. He's just telling you what you're going to make. And then you get it and the taxes come and you got to figure it out, and you can succeed so fast in these online businesses that this stuff without help, like you guys do, it's almost impossible for just the normal entrepreneur can make the pizza. They can sell the pizza. But how do you pay taxes on the pizza? That's usually what happens with guys like us,
Yeah, no, absolutely, man. And that's the whole reason why this podcast exists, right? Like, how do you exit these things without getting that slapped with that huge tax bill? And I'll leave you with this little nugget. The strategy, the cornerstone strategy that we like to use that is just so powerful specifically for your industry and your business, just because of the high multiple, right? The reoccurring revenue, the and the inability to do a 1031 with extremely low cost basis, right? It's all gain. And so depending upon your state, you're anywhere from 20 to 23.8 to 50% in some states, right? You're in California, you're getting
destroyed.
Yeah, absolutely. So we use a strategy. It's called the Deferred Sales Trust. And what it allows you to do is it allows you to liquidate the asset. It allows you to pay off any debt that you have. It allows you to defer the tax and then allows you to reinvest the proceeds in whatever you want. So what you could have done, right? And what your clients can do is they can actually sell their business. Okay. They can defer all the tax. The proceeds will go into this business trust. And then that business trust, they can go out and they can go buy real estate, or they can go put it in stocks, or they can go put it in passive income funds, or they can hard money loan, or they can invest in insurance, or they can do whatever, anything that they can invest in.
Dude, where were you in 2017 when I needed to hear this, bro? I was like, let's spend it all back on the business and double down and try, which worked. But it's at the same time, it's like we're sitting there scrambling before the government gets it all.
That's the thing.
That's genius. Man.
The thing is that this strategy, right, allows you to it gives you freedom. Yeah. Because you're doing freedom, financial freedom, time freedom, right? Because Now we're providing exit freedom, right? Capital gains freedom, freedom from the 1031, location freedom. You can go out, you can diversify, right? You could put a portion in stocks, bonds, mutual funds. You could put a portion in real estate. You could be an entrepreneur. You can do it. We had a client bought Bitcoin, 50 grand, 50 grand back in like 09.
Wow, dude.
Boom.
Yeah,
it
man.
went up to like 50 million after when it hit like 68,000, right?
Wow.
It's since dropped significantly, but it's coming back. But she liquidated probably about 5 million of it.
Heck yeah,
Deferred
bro.
about 1.85 million of tax.
Yeah.
And then she used that money to the 3 million basically to live passively off of, which is her relatively conservative portfolio. But then she took the other 1.85 million and she put it into an entrepreneurial business venture with her roommate in college. And now they're teaching some person probably a very similar, online business model.
She might be one of my students. I don't know. Maybe she was a Flip Lifestyle alumni. Who knows, man?
Maybe she was, man. She flipped her lifestyle when she bought Bitcoin for 50 grand.
100%, dude. I was sitting. You know what makes me mad about that is I legit was ready to push the button when it was like at 6K. And a buddy of mine was just all into it, and I was like, I might buy like 4 or 5 of them. Happens, and but it's all good, man. You missed some stuff.
You know what? We all have those regrets, right? I regret back in 2014 when it was $200, and I was like,
dude, I remember I remember when it was on like Newsweek for $1, and people were freaking out because something in digital was worth money. And I remember the guy coming out, everything about it, and it was like, oh well, it's not there anymore though.
Yeah,
so I do take payments in Bitcoin now though, so I'm trying to stock up some as people come in. I did start taking it, man. Yep.
Yeah, but Deferred Sales Trust works for crypto as well, right? So businesses, crypto, real estate, primary home, stock, right? Anything highly appreciated. We are working on a deal with a racehorse.
Wow, that's crazy,
dude. Some dude bought a horse for like $100,000 and it won some big race, and now it's worth like $3 million.
Yeah, because they can breed that son of a gun now, man, and make all the money off the sires, dude. It's
selling
crazy,
horse
man.
Blues, dude. Just getting after it, man. Like, talk about passive income.
People crack me up because it's funny. Like, we all have to deal with the taxes and everything else, and what I've learned, definitely through my business, is like a success path, I guess, what you will, is like, you're a W-2 employee, maybe you're wanting to start a business, right? Right. And then you have an idea. That's always the first thing, is you have an idea. Once you have the idea, then you take action and you become like this entrepreneur. And then it unlocks the next level of everything that you've got to learn and the next stuff. But what I've always figured out is it's like yoga. There's always somewhere else to stretch your tax strategy. It's in business. Sure. It's crazy. There's almost nothing that can't make money anymore on the internet, right? Like everything can do it. There's people making money with chickens, with racehorses, with all this stuff. And when you create this wealth, then it's just a matter of figuring out what to do with it. How do you keep it all? So it's kind of the flow, man.
Yeah,
that's exactly right. That's exactly right.
And that's what we preach over here, right? Is tax flow. Right? It's not just cash flow; it's tax flow, right? Because you could bring in $100,000 a month. Doesn't matter if you're only keeping 10 grand.
Yeah, bro.
Right?
Yeah, for sure. Yeah,
it's just
and tax. We all look at our expenses too. Like expenses, money going out. A lot of times that's people is your biggest expense, but dude, sometimes it's taxes. Like you got to think about that. Like you got $100, you're $100, you're letting go 30. That's a problem, right? You got to get that down, man. That's a real problem.
Big problem, and it's why. Yeah. And it's why we exist, and that's the shameless plug here, right? So if you guys are interested in learning more about those kinds of tax strategies, we have a mastermind every Friday at 10 a.m. Pacific, 1 p.m. Eastern. It's actually coming up here in about 30 minutes. So if you're watching this and it's Friday, pop on. If you want more information on Shane, where can they find you, brother?
Yeah, bro. It's the same thing I said a second ago, man. We got to create the money before we have to worry about the taxes, right? And that's what I help people do. I help people make money online. So if you want to check that out, what we do, it's at fliplifestyle.com/capital. I got some free resources there to help you find your idea, set up that first initial online business, and go down the rabbit hole. And hopefully we can go make you so much money that they'll have to call you guys because they got to figure out how to keep it. All right. So fliplifestyle.com/capital. If anybody wants to find an idea for an online business, we can help you do it.
Yeah, that's awesome. And with that / or is that a / / whatever, capital, right? What are they going to get?
We're going to have a free training to help you find a winning online business idea. We actually have a system where we can take your ideas, figure out how to brainstorm them, research it out to actually check if it can make money online before you do it, and then resources on how to set up your initial strategy to get that content, get that email list, and get those members.
That sounds super valuable. Okay, cool. So that's flippedlifestyle.com/capital.
Yep.
Guys, come check out the mastermind group every Friday, 10 a.m. Pacific, 1 p.m. Eastern. And check out capitalgainstaxsolutions.com if you want more information on if you got a big liquidity event coming up, you're about to exit, and you have a highly appreciated asset, definitely get in contact with us. We will save you hundreds of thousands, if not millions of dollars that you can use to create, preserve, and grow your wealth. It's not what you make, it's what you keep. So cash flow, tax flow, extremely important stuff, guys. So Shane, any parting words?
Hey, man, again, what I said before, there's almost nothing that can't make money online. So go build an amazing business, create a ton of revenue, and keep as much of it as you can to hand down to your children's children.
Absolutely. Well, thank you so much for coming on, brother. Really
appreciate it, man. Super fun.
Really great content. The 3 nuggets that I pulled out today was you got to be a content creator, you got to grow an email list, and you got to share one product. And then that product has to encompass training course, a community, and you got to lead something once a month.
That's it. That's it, man. That's
a simple business model, guys. It's brilliant. I'm going to go make the wife do this.
Because she's the implementer and you're the visionary.
She's the implementer. She's way more.
That's right. That's how it works around here too, man. My wife's in here making all the rest of the business working, and I'm just talking and hanging out and laughing and having fun.
I just basically pretend like I'm important.
That's exactly right. I actually did nothing that I said. It was all my wife, but I take.
It was actually my wife did everything. So
right, exactly.
So if you want to get in touch with Shane's wife, you have to go through Shane, and that's
fliplifestyle.com/capital. Yeah, it's a sales funnel. Eventually, you'll find her somewhere back there. She's got all the good information. So
sounds good, brother. Well, thank you again for coming on, man. Really valuable stuff. And thanks again, everybody, for watching another episode of the Capital Gains Tax Solutions podcast. As always, it's not having a clear plan that's the enemy, and using a proven tax deferral strategy such as the Deferred Sales Trust to keep the money that you make with your online businesses, your reoccurring revenue, your investment real estate, your entrepreneurial ventures is the best way to create, preserve, and grow your wealth. So thanks again for watching. Hit the like button, subscribe button, notification bell, comment, share, do all the interweb things that all you interweb people do. We appreciate you. Talk to you guys on the next